I wanted to come on through and put some information in your ear. I don't know what just happened there. Me and these cell phones. But yes, it's Sunday. And I'm here relaxing. I just finished my lunch dinner. I like to prepare stuff so it'll last for lunch and to dinner. Because, just in case because I told you I like to snack all day. If but I can control it, but I just like to snack and eat food and clear out refrigerators. How about that? Oh man, yeah, I do enjoy tasting all types of foods. I'm very open to that. I mean, why not? I think it's a fun thing to do, and then especially if you're with somebody and you're sharing foods together, and that's an intimate moment too. So anyway, I wanted to come back and talk a little bit more about the foreigner aspect of who we are. I said that our forefathers, our ancestors, and blah 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 migrated here from another planet, and I said it's possibly the Sirius constellation. But I'll get more on that, as I read and discover and research and blah blah blah. And this happened over millions of years ago, though. Okay, it happened over millions of years ago. So that means that foreigners have been here for over millions of years. So there ought to be nothing necessarily unidentified about that. But we're being manipulated. We're being deceived on purpose, for nefarious purposes. But let me tell you about the dangers of that. Well, first of all, let me say this. So it's logical if descendants of people are here that were descendants, that had a relationship with their ancestors, right? Which means we are descendants. And I say we because I don't know. And I'll tell you why it's kind of irrelevant right now, and it's too late per se to be, well, you'll understand what I mean in a minute. So there are human beings on this planet that are descendants from other human beings from another planet. And this has been going on for millions and millions of years, though. So what does that mean, though? Okay, I told you that we've been at this stage of bringing in new personalities. When you die, another personality takes your place, carries the baton forward, blah blah blah. So that all these are my theories and opinions. And like I said, if you see my cute little face and you don't want to hear what I got to say, swipe. I know you can. Swipe, baby, swipe. But anyway, so if you look at, you have to stretch your imagination. If we can make these sci-fi movies, and all of these blockbuster movies, then we can do this. Okay. If you look at the big picture, okay, and that's what a lot of so-called scientists are not doing, obviously, apparently. They're not looking at the big picture. What they're looking at is themselves in the mirror and believing that, okay, the answers are, I know everything here. And this and that and the other. Who knows not actually what the conversation is. But to me, it appears to be deceptive. I'm just going to say it. That's my opinion. Okay, which I am allowed to have. It appears that there are some so-called scientists that are being deceptive. And there has to be a reason for that, right? What's the reason? That's where That's where they need to answer too. If you choose to, everything's free will. Answer this. Why am I being deceptive about this and that and the other? What's the benefit for me to be deceptive and manipulative? It's usually a bottom line, which means money, prestige, accolades, winning prizes, whether it's Nobel or whatever, right? Is that what it's about? The ego, feeding the ego, basically. So, again, foreigners on the planet have been going on this planet for millions and millions and millions of years. Okay, there are certain segments of our society that have known that, and for some reason wanted to be a secret. I told you about secrets and lies. Okay, secrets and lies, and how secret is, in my opinion, is a time bomb. Okay, and I explained on a video I posted earlier about secrets and lies, or lying, because it's lies, and it's a continual of lying. It's a continual process. When you're lying, you're gonna be lying for the rest of your life, by the way, unless you decide to stop it, and that's the individual's choice to do so. And like I said, you can't fool your consciousness. You can't fool your subconscious. So if you continue lying for the rest of your life, you're going to be throwing yourself into some experiences that you will possibly won't survive. Okay, so if that's the risk you want to take, free will, take it. Okay, and if you want to remain complicit in detrimental secrets, the same applies. If you're complicit, that means you're a part of it. Okay. And that's all your consciousness is going to register. Your subconscious is going to register that you are complicit, meaning you are part of all of this. Okay, cool. Neutral. The subconscious is neutral. Fine. Now, the foreigner aspect, I think it's just so unfortunate, actually, what happened to our consciousness, number one, and what happened to our reason and being logical and all those sensing that are so important to develop with. And I told you we have this we've lost control of human nature. We lost control. How did I say it? Yes, we're very bad getting out of the control of the good human nature. Okay, that means that you're degenerating. In other words, you are respectively falling away from the control of the correct being human in the real and true sense. In other words, we are degeneracy as human beings. And all you have to do is look at results. That's all you have to look at. Okay, and look at your surrounding, look at the results. Being in constant war. I know throughout my 58 years we've been in war. Ever since I've been born, we've been in war, and I know ever since my parents were born, they were in war as well. There's always war somewhere. If it's not in one country, it's in another, and it's a continual, and it's going to be that way forever if we don't snap out of it. And chances are we're not, for some. For most. Some will get it and snap out of it, but most will not. The most in the form of a collective. Okay? So if something's been on the planet for millions of years, interacting with each other, maybe interacting with each other, maybe not. Okay? Chances are not, but okay. So if they've been on a planet for millions of years, are they unidentified? And so that's the game that people will play with you. They know, they have identified what's going on. And I say they, well, consider it. It's usually those in the pyramid. All right, I'll come back to that in a moment. So they know, and I said, they are those hiding in pyramids, Those are hiding in caves. Those are hiding in dark corners, and hiding in, in labs, and hiding this and hiding that. Hiding in plain sight, actually. And refusing to disclose the truth, because it's more beneficial to keep it as a secret. Because if the truth were exposed, okay, there's going to be, some uncertainties that, that those in the pyramid may not be able to handle. And then they're going to be very easily unhinged, to put the hand, to have certain entities go after their own people. We've known that to happen. Civil rights, right? During certain manufactured riots. They call them riots, but which were manufactured and infiltrated, Because I said, and I put out a video, how does it make sense that a community of people that have fought for land and property will burn it down? Okay, it's illogical. Okay, illogical. So there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, because if we keep focusing on the fact that they're unidentified, okay, they can keep the secret that they are identified. They know who these people are, or they've seen them. They may not know who they are, but they've seen their stuff. How about that? They've seen their crafts. So if people have and a lot of people like to get on this bandwagon of saying they saw UFOs. Okay. But there were some that I actually, let's put it this way, I actually believe, but I'm saying believe because I have no evidence of it, and it's kind of irrelevant and is meaningless because that person is no longer alive. But I think some may have made contact with somebody, whether they were foreigner or originals on the planet. I mean, like I said, we have mixtures of it. And, and there were some forces that, were around, like I said, in the 70s, 60s, 50s, I don't know how, in that range that created, this false indoctrination of being, we were accordingly, on the brink of a devastation, catastrophe, this and that and the other, from hidden hands. All right. And if it wasn't for certain elements of people to come through and essentially neutralize that threat, then I wouldn't be here talking right now. And neither will you. All right. So foreigners. Yeah. I mean, there have been foreigners on this planet for millions of years. Some of us come from where some of us are descendants of that. And how would you know? Well, you won't. If you're not elevated in your consciousness enough, you won't know. Just like when you are elevating in your consciousness, you don't know that either. Everything's done unconscious for a reason, because a lot of us won't be able to handle it. And I said to you, why would any group of human beings leave a high advanced civilization and come to Earth? And their high society lived a average of 1,000 years versus on this planet barely making it to 100. Why would that be done? Well, if you think about it, it sounds like what? They had no choice. How about that? I'll go into that a little bit more later. Okay, and I also said that there were groups of people that, that were helpers and some were not. Okay, some caused a lot of indoctrination with how they were bestowing themselves as to, describing themselves as to who they were, to people that just were not say kindergartners, and these were so-called graduates, of superiority is their delusion. And so they came in and just kind of manipulated, the kindergartners, and abused them in their consciousness, caused constant consciousness terrorism. Okay, that's why you have to challenge your beliefs, because if you have a certain belief, you're going to conjure it up, and they're going to be right before you in your face. And then what? Okay, so be logical and say, okay, all right. There, and because there's no such thing as a coincidence. I'm going to say that. There's cause and effect. So chances are, yes, some of us have made contact with foreigners that have been here for millions of years, though. Some foreigners are acting in secrets, just like our government have secret hands, right? Hidden hands too. So there's nothing different about that. It's just similar actions, and getting different results. So it's something to really play with in your thoughts and your fantasies, and to help you, feel good and be gentle about, the state of your consciousness. It's like, to be called crazy. Nobody wants to be called crazy. That's why you got to suspend your ego, because people will call you crazy. I told you I was targeted, okay, intentionally targeted after something that happened, after something I said, in a group, and there were crusaders in there that decided to take what I said and run with it. Okay, and I know that things happen to me. Okay, I know that, but it won't be acknowledged. They're gonna say, "Oh no, that bitch crazy." The proverbial crazy black female is real. Okay, for those of you that do not like hearing that always want the attention on you, and how abused you were, and how manipulated, all this lying, a lot of lying going on. I sense it, but it's a free choice. I mean, it's free will, and you'd have to deal with your subconscious, and your consciousness, not me. I'm dealing with my own. Okay, so be gentle with yourself is all I'm saying. You're being manipulated. You're being deceived. If you think if you saw something, you saw something. Okay, now you have no idea what it is. And that's okay too. I've seen things too as well, as a matter of fact. But I know that there are efforts to confuse us and scare us and keep us, afraid of knowing something, or afraid of discovering something and unveiling some of these secrets, that are also lies as well. There's and they always say there's more danger within than out, and that's true. That's so true. So let me just say this again, with people that have seen something, there's a strong possibility you saw something that you could not identify. But do not look to those that are attempting to disregard that and believe that they are the authorities on what you saw and what you did not see. Because I can guarantee you 99.99% of the time, you're going to be disregarded. So calling authorities about it is a waste of time, in my opinion. If you can document it. But do you need to share it? That's the question. Why are you sharing it? Because all you're going to do is bring a lot of negativity towards you. So just make a decision. I can guarantee you maybe all of us have seen something that we couldn't identify. I know I have. But what am I going to do with that when I know there's an effort to squash it, to bury it, and not let anybody know about it? I told you in March, It was either March or May or March of 79. Okay. There was an effort with a representative to assist us. And it was refused. Okay. And so and this was from a peaceful stance. Peaceful. To help. We turned it down. So that means we really don't. That's why I know we don't want peace. We don't. I'm saying the powers that be in the pyramid, they don't want no peace at all. They love controlling us and having us in the dark about things and what's going on. That's why there's always an interference. Why would you be interfering if everything was, so transparent? We like to use that word as well, which is a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Okay. So you're going to have to get to a point where you are enough in your reality, and you don't need necessarily, it feels good to be validated, but at certain, you have to understand what type of validation do you want. Like I said, what do you want? Okay, so it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to be comfortable about what you know, and be good with it, and be gentle with yourself. Maybe with your partner, you can share with your partner, but who knows how, because I told you there's a lot of uncertainty, and it's usually in the form of human beings. We're the most uncertain because we don't work too much we don't work a lot on our logical, reasonable thinking. So your partner or your wife, your husband may even disregard you and say you're crazy. So you're going to have to suspend your ego and ask yourself, who needs to know this? Am I comfortable with enough and trust myself to know I saw it? Yeah, I saw it. So what, though? At the end of the day, so what? Especially when you don't know the intentions of people and why they're flying around your house or flying around in your neighborhood or flying around this or that and the other. And there's a reason why certain people see these certain things and why certain people don't as well. Okay? As long as you know you're grounded in your reality, you're not delusional, you're not hallucinating, you hear birds, okay? You hear the natural sounds of things, and if you happen to see something unidentified that you can't describe what it is, okay, I would let it go. Because there are other things going on behind the scenes that we need to be paying attention to. Okay, regarding, what's going on with nuclear weapons? What's going on with that? What's going on with the war in Ukraine? What's going on with that? Now there's one in Israel. There were one, if you remember a few months ago, there was something going on in Africa. You understand me? You got to pay attention to this and get a grip on your reality and really be genuine about your intentions to know something. Why do you want to know this? So you can be the first one to run and tell everybody about it? Okay? There are those that have that intention. They just want to be the first ones telling you about it. That's why they want to know. And that's why they'll badger people and badger them, that they want to know. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. Well, ask yourself why you want to know. And that's what I said with a good teacher. They know a lot of things, but they know how to disseminate things properly and not do it for the necessary factors of being the first one saying something. Come on now. They know the answers, but they know what kind of students they're working with as well. And they know, like I said, you can't fool your consciousness. So why would a good teacher do so? So be gentle with yourself. What you see is what you see. As long as you know you were grounded in your reality when you saw it, or when you heard it, or when you felt it. Okay, but no one has to know. No one has to know. They don't have to know. But if you, and like I said, you have to decide on your intentions to tell them and intention to let people know about certain things. It's a lot of work. That's all I'm saying. It's a lot of work. But you're going to have a lot of people coming forward talking about UFO experiences. And, just, I would just listen or not. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're lying. Is it relevant anyway? It's not relevant whether they're lying or not. They're the ones that are going to have to deal with that lying on their own via their subconscious. Okay? And chances are they're going to get themselves thrown into an experience that they're not going to survive, and you're not going to know why. You're not going to know why. And then a lot of people do that. Like, why? Why did they take, why did they take this person so young? Why did this have to happen to such a person that would give you the shirt off their back? And a lot of people ask those kind of questions. So cause and effect. No such thing as a chance. It's a boomerang. Now, that's negative. That's a neutral thing. There's nothing negative or positive about it. It's just neutral. It's a series of events that are neutral. And not, like I said, not everybody's telling you the truth about what's going on inside their head. They're saying one thing but thinking something else. Okay? So, as I say, be gentle, be loving and kind to yourself. There's going to be a whole lot more to come. Okay, and I sense that we're not going to like it. Not going to like it at all because of the lying and the secrets, and all this other negativity that we're encased in. Okay, so enjoy your Sundays. If I feel the need to give you what you need, I'm just having fun. But if I have anything else I want to share, I'll be back. Trust me on that.